if you're like me, then you have that itch to travel the world and explore it. England is a place where ever since I was a little kid, I have always wanted to go there. I've been fascinated by the people, their passion for football, the food, and kind of just the overall atmosphere. So that's really inspired me to take this opportunity to take a deeper dive into what their culture is like. And there's many great things about England, but I've decided to look into three things about it, which are their passion for football, kind of their language, the way they speak, and their architecture. So starting off, I want to talk about football. When I say football, I don't mean what we have here in America, American football, tackling people. I mean soccer. They call soccer football over there, and so for the purpose of the speech, I'll just call it football. Football was created in England. BBC calls England the mother of football. The passion that the fans and just people in England have is unlike anything I've ever seen. You can kind of see in this picture, they really love it. To kind of compare what they do over in England to what they do here in America, they have they have their tiers of leagues of football. They have their highest professional, but then it can go all the way down to adults playing, like they make up their own leagues and kind of play wherever. But the highest level, they call it the English Premier League. And what makes that different from what we do here in America, because you see the NFL, the NBA, the teams that do the worst in that league, nothing really happens. What really happens, they just get the first chance pick at a player that they want. But in England, actually what happens is you finish last, you get demoted to a lower level, meaning you're playing, worse people than you would. Less elite competition, essentially. And another thing is that they have is their national team. It's like the Olympics, essentially. It's the best players in the nation. They all come together and play on a team. And a song that the fans love to sing every time the national team plays is a song called "It's Coming Home," which references a time back to when their national team won a major trophy, and which kind of, referenced bringing the sport back to where it was originally created. So as you can see, it's just them repeating "It's coming home" over and over again. Football's coming home. It's kind of repetitive and a little annoying to listen to, but yeah. Alright, next is the language. They obviously speak English just like we do, but they all have their accents. Me and my friends, we kind of have accents sometimes, to make fun of them. Just in case you don't know what one sounds like, I've got Chris Pratt here. He's gonna have his own little accent.
Because talking about Brits here, but I'll try it anyways. So it's like I want to say, I saw this guy. Honestly, like Michael cheated on me when he was in a beat art, and I was like, because he's telling me, he's like, I miss you or whatever, and I'm like, you miss me? What am I, your mother?
So yeah, that was kind of a real stereotypical accent of what you would hear in England. Next I want to talk about, the things that they may call in England, what we call here in America. And I pulled a list from The Independent. First, we call these French fries. In England, they call them chips. We call it chips here, Doritos. You know. What we call shoes, they call trainers. We call trainers here, you know, the people that help you lift weights. Pants, trousers. It's kind of a funny word. I know Lululemon has trousers, but obviously we all call them pants. So lastly, the thing that I'm personally kind of most fascinated about is their architecture. English heritage talks about all the way back to the 12th century. A lot of these buildings were made in a Romanesque style. So, you know, a lot of these stone, medieval kind of buildings that eventually evolved into what is called or known as the Gothic style. So I've got a couple. So we see here the Tower Bridge in London. You know, that stone kind of castle look. This building's called the Castle Howard. And last I got the Parliament Building, and everyone kind of knows this one. It's the Big Ben, the big clock tower. So, you know, that kind of medieval look, the stone, something that me personally I've really been fascinated by. So today, you know, I've shown you three parts of England, their passion for football, their language, how they speak, and their architecture. And, you know, there are many great things about England, and I hope someday that I can visit there.